What household items do most people not understand the true danger of? Tylenol. I'd like to add that a drop Tylenol, Advil or aspirin can kill a cat or dog, especially cats. Avocados. So many people put a knife through their hand trying to stab out the seed. I always used a spoon to pop dig it out. That's a good way. I do the whack with the blade with my hands away, getting the knife stuck in it, then twist. Hair straighteners, curling irons. I grabbed mine a few months ago by accident for maybe a second and got second-degree burns on my hand. Not really for people, but for animals. Houseplants. A lot of currently popular houseplants are fatal if ingested by your pet. I decided that, as long as I have my cat, I just would not get any plants. Not worth it. It's not worth it. Plus, you could just get fake plants that won't die on you. Gorilla Glue. Yes, Aka hair gel substitute. I just about died laughing when I read that story, and then some idiot gorilla glues a cup to his lips to prove the story was BS. Pressure cookers. There was a guy that bought a ton of them when they went on sale, so he could resell it when they were off sale. He bought so many that the FBI showed up asking him about it. Cleaners. Never mix bleach with anything containing ammonia. It releases chloramine gas, which is toxic and can actually kill you. Also, do not clean out a really dirty cat litter box with bleach. Cat urine has ammonia. Wash your knife between meats and vegetables. Holy shit, it is such a simple logical step to take, and yet my mother chops up a chicken breast and a cucumber at the same ducking time. Just cut the veggies first, then you can be lazy about washing the knife. I've been telling that woman this for 20 years. Garage door springs. I do not want to hear this story. I think I do not have a personal story, knock on wood, but from what I understand, those things are death traps just sitting there waiting to be messed with by an untrained person. You're absolutely correct. They're under hundreds of lbs of tension. If you tamper with them and they decompress, they will do so explosively, putting holes in concrete is common, and Lord help you if you're in the way. I had to work with a similar spring system back in my army days. 19k, and the horror stories of slipped breech spring were frighteningly abundant. As a local fire marshal, I'm sitting here wondering where to begin. Improperly vented dryers. That's the first one on my list. Toaster, if you never empty the crumbs tray. Any electrical outlet doing anything other than sitting there silently. Well, as silently as it can be with electricity running to it. Little all outlets ought never to spark and scorch. Worn and frayed electrical, telephone, and speaker cords. Mouse chewed electrical anythings. So what all am I missing? I know it's a ton. I have a switch that regularly sparks blue. I can see it, but it doesn't spark outward too much. I had an electrician come, and they said it is pent up electricity. Based on your post, I am going to call another electrician. I knew that wasn't he right. Thank you. Wait, an electrician? As in someone actually employed as an electrician told you it was pent up electricity? Lordy. Some people believe it's okay to insert a copper penny in a screw-in fuse box circuit as a temporary measure until new fuses can be obtained. Actually, it is a quite permanent solution. Your house may never need another fuse again. Unsharpened kitchen knives. A dull knife will do so much more damage than a sharp knife will. They also have much higher chance of slipping off of what you are cutting than cutting into it like a nice sharp knife will. A cheap bud pull through sharpener is better than nothing at all. Candles. Every emergency preparedness training that I've taken in the last 5 years has said, do not include candles in your SIP kit, and then had a test question about whether you should light candles during a disaster. That said, I still have some candles. I'm not gonna burn them for fun, but I did like the option to be available. Real Christmas trees. They dry out and become hyper combustible. Huge fire hazard. We have a backyard fire pit and get real trees. We often burn the previous year's tree in March, my dad's birthday, or June summer solstice. The flames are easily 20. Garbage disposals. Almost took my fingers off a few times as a kid. Sewing machines. Until you've been to the to have a needle cut out of your finger, you just do not understand. And yes, it still had thread attached. I've pierced my fingernail before. while using a sewing machine. But luckily I stopped before it had pierced all the way. On a sewing related note, rotary cutters used when cutting fabric for quilting are terribly dangerous. They are basically round razor blades. I've been doing a lot of quilting during the pandemic and our new kitten tries to attack the rotary cutter while I'm using it. Not fun. Yeah, I made that a trip to balloons. Toddlers will play with them and are tempted to teeth on them. If parts are swallowed, they have to be surgically removed. Use the foil balloons at kids' parties instead. Much safer. Mylar balloons blow away and become a serious and surprisingly frequent source of power outages. I work in utilities and I did love to see them banned. Having lived in an area near a grocery store that sells them and is near a power station, yes, they will cause power outages every ducking year. Button batteries. Little kids eat them and they can die. Like, not just choke but actually die. Yup. Knew of someone recently. The 2-year-old swallowed one and the acid ate through her esophagus and the doctors were worried the acid would eat to her aorta. She was in the ICU and in a medically induced coma for at least a month before miraculously surviving. Windex bleach. Don't be mixing ammonia and bleach. Kids, do not mix any cleaning chemicals. Guns. Too many people aren't safe enough with them, and too many others unduly fear them. So I did say that true danger is mostly misunderstood. In college I moved into a shared house that came semi-furnished with a bed. Couple nights later I happened to look under the bed for some reason, and there was my roommate pistol just sitting there. Came up and asked about it, and the roommate just laughed and said he was wondering when I would notice. These roommates were basically friends of me and my buddy who had just moved in, and apparently it had been mentioned to this specific roommate because he was a gun owner. I was pretty pro gun control because my uncle had been in Norris Hall during the Virginia Tech shootings. I guess this guy just thought I would see the cheap pistol and freak out or something. I just told him to get his damn gun and treat it like an actual tool rather than a toy. Damn, that's pretty ignorant of them. I would not leave a firearm with anyone I didn't know and trust, and I definitely would not just leave one under their bed without telling them. Agreed that guns are tools and should be treated as such. Yeah. Turns out no surprise that roommate was a bit of in a hole, and for the year we were there me and my buddy were basically counting down the days. But hey, at least we learned that pretty quick. Lawn mowers. Mowing the lawn is not a chore for a young kid like under 12. Way too many loose fingers or parts of their foot from them. Ride-on lawn mowers kill way too many little kids. 2. From adults not looking out for them. My 16-year-old is a god with a weed whacker. I honestly do not understand how he gets the cut so perfect. Cars. There are as many ways to kill someone with a car as there are ways to cook an egg. 8. 9 if you count the exhaust. I have never tried cooking an egg with an exhaust. Thanks for the idea. Water heater. A lot of people die of correctional officer poisoning because of a faulty water heater. I was gonna say knives, but people aren't that dumb, so I choose to say glass cups, bowls and plates. Like, if you're wearing sandals or flip-flops, and then you drop your glass bowl of Lucky Charms right onto your feet. Microwaves. Do not know why you getting downvoted. You absolutely right. Obviously not dangerous to use a microwave, but people have died taking them apart. The link. Biggest 2 things. 1. The high voltage capacitor can give you a lethal shock even after the microwave has been unplugged for months. 2. The magnetron inside a microwave can contain beryllium oxide and their ceramic insulators, which can be fatal if it gets into the lungs. Tempered glass utensils. I once had a glass suddenly explode in my hand for no reason at all. Tiny bits of glass all over the place. Really scared the hell out of me. Apparently, this is a thing that happens to tempered glass sometimes. Nah. A friend of mine recently told me a story of how an old friend of his accidentally used it as lotion on his hole after shaving it. Talk about fire in the hole. Drills when used on metal parts. People, please, wear safety gloves and goggles while using it this way, as many people I saw were not doing that. My father almost lost sight as a tiny metal piece got launched at him like a bullet, easily penetrating his eyebrow and getting stuck between his muscles and skull. Right above eye. Imagine if it would get stuck between eye and skull. Overloaded outlets and surge protectors. If the protector is old or dirty, get a new one. Lost my house 2 years ago from an electrical fire. Plug 9 different things into a single outlet. Garlic. If it looks funny or if it's growing little shoots, throw it out. I found out that garlic is toxic to some pets like cats. Children's vitamins. Care to elaborate? Probably because they taste like candy, but you can in fact add on vitamins. Did they change the formula? Those Flintstones vitamins always tasted like butter to me. Safety plug covers in the UK. UK plug sockets are incredibly safe. It's quite difficult for a kid to access the live parts of it. They'd have to find something the right size to push into the grounded socket in order to release the doors covering the live ones. Plugged sockets covers aren't that difficult for a kid to remove. If a kid messes about with it and then proceeds to put it back in upside down, it exposes the live sockets. So the plug socket covers are completely useless and provide a way to override the inbuilt protection of the plug socket. A Birkenstock sandal in the hands of my mom. M32 rotary grenade launcher in the hands of an un-American. It can destroy your house. In the hands of an American. It can be used to successfully prevent a robbery by blowing up their jetaway vehicle. I got one off of eBay for $35.49 and it worked perfectly. They had these weird SWAT uniforms and were well armed. Is SWAT a big gang or something? Anyways, they had weird wee-woo cars and a helicopter. 10 rating on GL, took out 2 helicopters and 3 cars. My mum's fists. Mommy's whiskey fist flavored kisses. You know mum. Stairs. I learned how old stairs are dangerous cause they are very steep. But the newer ones can also be dangerous if you slip on them. I just learned that yesterday. Slipped on the step trying jog up. My foot is black blue and I can't put much pressure on it. Not broken though. Small lithium batteries. Having a light in the shower over the tub. How? When you are as tall as my family you will understand our heads touch the ceiling. Look up potatoes and not consuming them if they turn green. Mold. I would not say that it's something there on purpose, but people just don't understand why that's not good. Everybody watch out for tripping on open dishwashers. Adjustable rate mortgages. Cats, if they get under your feet. Dirty litter boxes. Care to elaborate? Cats can carry a parasite called Toxoplasma gondii, which causes toxoplasmosis. Pregnant women are advised not to clean dirty litter boxes because of the high risk of toxoplasmosis. Also, the smell is unbearable. Shelf-s and small children, because one of them is going to be like I want to be inside of that shelf and the other is going to encourage it. Or furniture like dressers that aren't anchored. Tip over hazards. It does not help that kids are like little suicide machines. Freaking butter knives, forks. Now these might be unexpected, but if you put enough stabbing force into it these can go right through someone's hand. The word that can happen is the knife bending. And 4 forks. If you're defending yourself against a intruder, stabbing them mercilessly hard in the knee or eyes lines do the trick. Written on a phone while sitting on a throne. Nope, and I only made like 5 spelling mistakes. Roofs. All it takes is a few termites to cause a huge number of devastation. Well, the dangerous thing there is with houses. Huge fire risk, rot risk, water damage risk, rodents get in it, and anyone can punch a hole in a wall. For America, one of the most dangerous things they have is the house itself. While making it out of wood is faster and cheaper, it takes one bad wiring job, one careless smoker, one kitchen accident, one overheating electronic, and a million other things that could happen, and puff, your house burns down. And then when they get old, maybe some would rot it away, maybe there were some termites doing damage, and from out of nowhere your roof collapses on you as a child. I consider a blowtorch a household item, so maybe that. Not unplug your charger after you're done using it. Wait, like phone charger, you're supposed to unplug it every time. Yay, it's a fire hazard. Chloroform. Bleach. That stuff can really duck you up if you inhale too much of it. If you've got a mask like an N95, use it when you clean with bleach. Opening windows if possible even in winter. Just for a few minutes if it's not too cold, and using fans like bathroom fans when you're re-cleaning can also help to alleviate the potency a little. And this goes without saying, but do not swallow it unless you have a death wish. Fans, seriously, those things can be deadly for tall people. I am not that tall, but still my point still stands. Vacuum. Scary thought, I know. Might make those floors a little less dirty. Women. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more videos.